Views and opinions on this show are for entertainment purposes only. The only factual information is any story that has happened to AT2 or the parties involved. Other than that, go ahead and get you a drink, get you something to eat, just relax and enjoy the show. Let's have fun. All right, y'all, let's get real. All right, so if you see my eye go a little cockeyed to the right or the left, it's because I'm watching the Niner game at the same time and everything like that. No, I'm not a Niner fan. However, I got to root for somebody in the Bay, right? What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And of course, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? I'm feeling a little better. It's time after I gotta wait a little bit. What I'm gonna do tomorrow is actually go ahead and get the Coviana test just to make sure that what I have is not the Coviana, but if it is, I at least want to know and get tested and stuff like that. I think they have like a home kit you can do or something like that. I was thinking of just I wonder if I can just set an appointment or something like that. Hopefully I can do that instead. Ooh, thank you. I appreciate that, Wendy. Good looking out. As you guys know, what's up, Erica? I ain't seen you in a minute. Just to let you guys know, Jen is my guest. Home Depot Jen, as you guys know her, she is my guest. She had to restart her computer because we're having like some sound issues and stuff like that. But I wanted to go ahead and still at least, whatchamacallit, come on camera and just talk to you guys for a minute because I didn't want to just have y'all just sitting and waiting the whole time. And trust me, I'm entertaining enough to keep y'all entertained and stuff like that. I don't want you guys to think, hey, Siwa, also Lauren. Oh, let me say what's up to the people at least. Come on now. How rude of me. What's up, Yolanda? What's up, Siwa? What's up, Apple? What's up, Unapologetically Curious? What's up, Whitney Lucas? What's up, Gail? What's up, Rosemary? Laureen? We also have Southern Belle, Debbie, Erica, as I already said hi to her, Suzanne, Nikki, Dorothy, Miranda, Liz, why you bothered? What's up? What's up? What's up? We have Heather. We got Ritz. Okay. We got a lot of people up here. A lot of people. What's up, Vanessa? Selena, I see you too. All right, let's go, Rainbow. I'll just kidding. I'll be happy. Either way, I'm content with it. What's up, Madonna? Now a lot of you guys were wanting her to interview with other people and stuff like that. And I'm fine. At the end of the day, she can go wherever she wants to. But why have an interview with the same stuff that we already talked about? That doesn't make any sense. So, I had told her like, oh, just come back for part 2. And then whatever we didn't discuss, we can go ahead and get into it. What's up, Sheila? What's up, Beauty for Ashes? Mercedes, I see Mercedes up in the building too. Okay. Oh, I think that's time. Okay. So before I bring my guest on, let me do a 30-second countdown. Was there anything from the last interview that you guys wanted answered that we didn't answer last time? I'm going to go ahead and give y'all 30 seconds and then we'll come back. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. And let me go ahead and bring on my guest right now. Welcome back to the show for the second time, Jen.
Hello. Hello. Second time, yes. We have some business
Can you
to
hear me?
finish. I understand. Right? Can you hear me?
Do you have
Okay.
another window open?
No. I think it's the
Okay.
speaker. See, the speaker is giving them feedback. So what do I do?
Start off the speaker.
I don't even know where that's at on here. Yeah, he put a new speaker on here because I can never hear good, but
Oh, okay.
but I mean, that's what he does for a living. Like literally what he did was turned it off several times until it worked. So I don't know where it's at. Yeah. Very technical stuff there. Okay. So hopefully I can hear now and there's no feedback or whatever.
Okay. Let me try. Hello, hello.
Hello.
We're good.
Okay.
No feedback. Okay. It was the speakers.
Okay. Well, it's still there, but I moved it. Well, I'm not going to jinx it.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. I really do appreciate that.
Not a problem. Not a
And
problem. I think.
And you know what? I was telling the people before you came on, like, I guess there was a few people out there saying, like, they wanted you to go to a whole bunch of other people's shows. And like I said, like, I don't have any problem, but it doesn't make any sense, like, for you to go on everybody's show just saying this.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's funny. It's funny, 82, because like the way I've told the story, it's been in bits and pieces. And with you sitting down and doing this, it's been easier to talk like chronologically, where other opportunities, it was bits and pieces, and that kind of confuses people. So it's really kind of good just to stick with,
Right.
one. Yeah. So, and obviously there's things that, there are things that I've really not even shared before because there's so much information. And since we're talking about some of those things lately or they've come up, I'm like, maybe it's time to just go ahead and wrap it up.
Right. You know what the crazy part is? There was somebody who said that they were like, yeah, AT2 did a good interview because usually she's all over the place whenever you interview her. I was all like, wow.
I mean, the other, initially I did, interviews with like Yahoo Boy. I thought those went pretty well. It was one-on-one, but you get in those groups and have several people on there and it's just chaos. You're fighting to speak. So there's really no way to tell, especially stories like this. This is not
Right.
like, minute details. It's a lot. So.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So what I wanted to ask you about first was because after we did our interview, it was like a whole bunch of backlash. Well, not backlash from the good side, but from the other side. And it seemed that they were trying to bring up tampon gate. I guess they basically, the thing is that they said you were the one behind this, but it was actually like a Scully lady that actually was the one who did it. But they say you were the brain.
I'm glad you brought that up actually, because one thing I can tell you, I was a go-between, but she's the one that wanted to do it. And I actually asked her to cancel 3 times. She refused. She refused to cancel the order. Yes. 3 times.
So she refused 3 times.
She pretty much set this all up. She really did. She was just trying to set everybody up. So, that's why she fully intended to go through with it and probably already planned to do what she did. So whatever.
Right. And you know what the crazy part is? It's like, there's this thing where like you guys been friends and rocking with it, but y'all had a lot of like, how do I say, deflectors? Like all of a sudden they were rocking with y'all and then all of a sudden they wanted to go back to him. And I'm all like, it's fine to have a falling out, but what is it that brings them back to him?
Because they're like him, I guess. I don't have another answer for you. Literally talking to Shelly one day and then she flipped the hell out and just went ballistic. That was it.
Right.
And she was literally asking to come visit me a couple weeks after, she was planning on coming to visit me with her new puppy and all this shit. So, whatever. she belongs where she is. That's fine.
Right. Someone said her name is
I don't care.
Shelly. I thought her name was Scully.
No, it's Shelly. Like her last name is Kelly, so like her screen name is usually Skelly, like S Kelly.
Oh,
So
okay.
Skelly is
Well,
the
I don't
name
like
that.
to give nobody free promo, so we're gonna go with Scully. Okay, so
Okay.
no free promo. Scully, it is.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for clearing that whole tampon gate up and stuff like that. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing.
I have all, I mean, I have to dig. I've got like years and years worth of screenshots. I don't even like to think about how much there is because it's hard to find. You'd have to sit down and really go looking to find things. But I guarantee you that I've got everything that she's said and done. I mean,
Right.
I mean, she knows. I have her admitting in screenshots like, yeah, Jen, you haven't done anything, you've stayed out of everything, blah 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 blah, and then turns around and does that. So I didn't really spend much time trying to figure it out. I was just like, good riddance, whatever.
Right. And
So
what people don't realize is that
too. I mean, I'm really so done with this nonsense. It's like I have a life to live. I'm sorry that this is their life, but
right.
yeah.
Because this is only a small portion of our lives. Like, we don't have like hours and hours and hours to take on this shit. This is just
Right.
kind of like something that's I don't want to even say that it's fun, but it's just something that we do on the side, like our time isn't spent messing around with Cooter Brown or thinking about him,
I do love that name. No, I mean, literally entertainment in your name. That is, you do things for entertainment and for fun. I mean, it's, you're not out here having a meltdown for money.
Right.
So,
And so question two, because when he would have those like emotional breakdowns and stuff like that, did you think those were real?
I just didn't, I did. I mean, again, understand my background in field. So, I would see him get amped up, but a big part of me as his friend, kind of like how you see Cody do a little bit. I really tried to, it's funny. I mean, I laughed as I watched all these people afterwards. I mean, trying to remake him and help him not do what he does. And it's like, yeah, that's what I tried to do, but you go ahead and do it too and end up in the same boat. And that's what's happened pretty much. Anyone that tried to intervene and help him, like smooth it out, dude. Like, don't say these things. Don't react that way, and hell, I don't know. I did hear something about Ricky or whatever recently, so he must be hanging with him. But back when they had their big blowout, that's when he was at my house. And I was literally standing off to the side, coaching him, like, calm down, don't say this, don't, you'll be fine. So that's, I don't know. I don't know what I saw. I guess I thought that it was manageable, but clearly, I mean, when you see in real life that that's really just how he lives all the time, there's no way to get in a trough and be like, hey, calm down,
Right. Question for you. So I kind of wanted to ask, like, your relationship with Cody, because it seemed that you were like very protective of him, like when he was going through the situation with Cooter Brown.
Yeah.
And so, like, how did that turn? Or like, was it because he just ended up going back to Cooter Brown and that's where it went? Like, what was your relationship with him for the most part? And then where did it flip?
It didn't flip really until the end. I mean, I think, Julie and all of them were, and Christy, were all working on him pretty hard, and Beth and everybody. But like I told you last time, I mean, the first several weeks, the reason that those calls came in, the Adult Protective Service calls, was because he literally was not talking to John and was ready to leave him. I mean, he really started to understand or believe that he could have a better life, a better partner that treated him well. He could have a relatively normal, life and have a home and like normal stuff,
Right.
And so they really wore him down. They did. And he's very, obviously very codependent to be able to still be in the relationship. But, and so, yeah, he's he was easily manipulated. I will tell you, during that time, I mean, he would express that he felt responsible for John, that
Mm.
he, I mean, he would tell me, he's like, I'm disgusted by him. I don't love him like that, but I feel like he feels like it's a codependency thing. Like he has to take care of him. This is the lot in life that I chose, and this is my partner, and I just have to
Ooh.
do this kind of thing. Like, I mean, I did say to him a few times, I was like, Cody, I said, if you go back this time, one of you is going to end up dead. Honestly, I said, one of these days, one of you is going to end up dead. I said, honestly, what I would have seen happening, and I don't know what they're doing now, but I guarantee you they didn't get counseling or anything like that.
Right.
But, I said, honestly, he would end up killing you, and then he would kill himself because he would feel guilty for killing you. I'm like, so then you'd both
Wow.
be gone. And I literally said, honestly, if somebody's got to go, I'm like, I'd rather you be safe than him. I mean, seriously, you're both going to go. Well, like I said, he could have made it. He could have made it and found a partner with some, counseling and stuff like that.
Right. Question for you,
and he could have
because
gone back to his mom's, but he
right.
didn't.
Question for you, because with like DV victims, sometimes alcohol, drugs play a part in it.
Mhm.
Did you ever see any kind of like alcoholism or like drugs
Oh,
or anything?
God, ATT. I mean, really, like I couldn't keep him in alcohol. I really couldn't. And I can only drink. The only thing I really like to drink when I drink is beer, and I can't drink it because I'm basically celiac. I mean, we haven't done the gut
Mm.
biopsy, but so that's why, like, my son and I can't have gluten. He's really bad. I'm not as bad, but so I had to get gluten-free beer if I wanted beer, and it's very hard to find, and it's very expensive. It's between like $10 and $16 for a 6-pack.
Oh,
So my husband would go out and get me a 6-pack, so that I could drink with them. And I mean, when I drink, I'll have a beer or two, and that's it. Like a 6-pack would last me months.
wow.
So he would go out and get it, and I would stock up for them. I mean, I wouldn't get them the expensive stuff because they burn through it. So I'd get like a case of beer, I'd get the boxed wine, all that stuff. And he would still drink all my beer. This happened about 5 times, about $60, $70 into it. Tim's like, hey, I go to get a beer. There's no beer. And he's like, you want me to go get some? And I was like, absolutely not. Like, no, I don't.
Right.
I
You
don't
don't
care.
drink it.
Right. So it's like, no, I'm not going to keep buying this so that he can suck it up. I mean, so yeah, I mean, the drinking was constant. I would venture to say pretty much from the time they got up until they went to bed. I mean, it
Wow.
wasn't obvious during the day, it might be like mixed in a drink or Coke or whatever, but yeah, I mean, they drank absolutely every day for sure.
Right. And was the drug of choice, well, I shouldn't say drink of choice, box wine by chance? Or is that a
Well,
new thing?
I thought so. That's why I bought the boxed wine. But then he would drink my, $16 6-pack of gluten-free beer. So,
Right,
but
right, right. Now when they're sober, as far as like not drinking, like did it seem like the relationship was better, or do you think that the alcohol just brought out no?
yeah, no. It's severe. I mean, John
Mm.
would get really mad at me because, I'd make dinner or whatever, and it'd be time for us to all eat. And Cody just got up like a little church mouse and would go wait on him and serve him. And I literally said to him a couple of times, I was like, Cody, what are you doing? Like, he can it's not like he worked 16 hours or whatever and, is beat. I mean, he slept till 5 and he's sitting his butt on the couch. He can get up and get his own food, you know? So, I mean, I didn't have, and it was offensive to him for me to have any kind of expectations for them to be living in my house, for sure. But
Right.
it's like, well, shit. I mean, if I'd expect this from my 7-year-old at the time or whatever, I think 2 grown ass men can follow the rules,
Exactly. And one thing that I thought of too, like, did they at least keep your home clean?
Mm. In the beginning, Cody would help. But no, John didn't. He didn't do anything but exist. I mean, he didn't do anything at all. Mm-mm.
Mm. So
In
basically,
fact, Cody, in the beginning, when we were at the rental place, like the laundry room was in their bedroom, so you'd have to go in there to like get to the laundry. And so I might leave laundry in there or something, or in the dryer, and Cody would fold them for me and all this stuff and bring them up. And I think John put a stop to that, like, don't do that. So
so he didn't want you folding no clothes. He didn't want him folding no clothes, no nothing. Like he was all like,
no. You know what? In retrospect, 82, I think I noticed early that John he was jealous, and I'm sure this happens all the time, honestly, in any situation. Really, I mean, if is that people, here they come to stay with me. John is supposed to be one of my, close friends, and, Cody's his spouse. So like my friend is John. I mean, it didn't take long for the shift to be everybody like Cody better. And that really, I think, gets under John's skin.
right.
And Cody took to me. I mean, that's, somewhere we need to go tonight. I don't know what Tim's doing right now, but, he was witness to something. He pointed something out to me. And these are things that I really didn't talk about that much before. Yeah. So I think it's relevant since, the stories that they make up about what's happened,
Right,
so.
right. One thing that I wanted to ask you about, because moderator Colt 45 tried to make claims that you are almost you're racist for talking about racism, or you're white, you shouldn't care, or something to that effect. Like, who's
really
the whole thing?
I mean, like, really? I mean, she just made herself look like a complete racist ass. I don't even have to say anything about that. Like, you did exactly what the book said, Julie. You're the poster child. You did it.
Right.
Okay.
She's a Karen.
Like, what? Yeah, it's not even worth wasting words on that. It's so obvious. Like, that is what it is. That is what it is.
Right. It was a total deflection, because I felt that instead of her getting on Cooter Brown for what he did, she totally deflected and put it on you. And it was all like, where did that even come from?
I'm still waiting for her results, by the way, for the Harvard IAT. I haven't received them. I would like to compare ours.
Because, yes, and I love how you sent that to her, too.
Fuck's sake, diversity trainer. Give me a break.
Right.
Let me train you, diversity trainer. Okay. But whatever.
You know what the crazy part is? When you were with over there with Cooter Brown and stuff like that, were you cool with moderator Colt 45, or like?
Well, I'm glad you're bringing that back up, because that was such a weird thing. Like, the only person out of his crew, I mean, literally, you would have thought, and at least in my world, that I was John's only friend forever. That I didn't know about anybody else, to be honest with you. And I remember Cody saying to me that it was that year that, whatever he did on Twitter, it had to do with Real Housewives or whatever. And that's when I was like, I took my leap off for, 6 months or whatever. And then he shifted over to IG, January of 2019.
Right.
And what was I going to say about it? What was Cody saying about, bring me back. What was I saying about that?
Because I asked you your relationship with Julie, like how, were you guys cool in the beginning?
So anyway, so I knew Christy Weber. I was communicating with him and her via text message for a while, but that was a setup too. All of it was just a setup for him coming here. He was already setting this all up. And like I said, I didn't realize till later. I mean, he had done the fake account of me before he came into my home for us to support him. And was telling people I was on drugs and that's why I wasn't teaching anymore. I mean, just crazy. I can't even tell you why. I was nothing but kind and nice and supportive to him for, 4 years. So there was no reason for it other than, they're just sociopaths. I mean, like they don't, I'm not, you know, I don't know how else to say it. They don't have consciences. They don't have kindness to people. And so people like us that are kind to people are really, I guarantee you, I irritated the shit out of Christy because I'm not a sociopath. Sorry. Sorry. I have feelings and I'm nice to people.
So did you and Christy ever get into it, or was it really
Oh
only
no,
with?
she played along. No, she played
Okay.
along. She was my buddy and everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, when he all of a sudden, when he's actually transitioning, like to come here, he like forced me into this group of women, and I'm like, who are these people? Like, and it was Julie, it was City. Her name is Shirley Norris. City FN was her account name. Julie, City, my friend, and then the one that lives by me a half hour away, Jan. Her name is Jan, but she goes by Faith or something like that on IG. And I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her around with most of this mess, but she was still kissing his ass for quite a long time.
Oh. Well, maybe she disappeared. She got the hell up out of there.
Well, no, she kind of just hung around in the background. Like, I don't do anything. I'm just sitting here supporting him, you know? So, but that was the group. And now in retrospect, I see why he did that, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I didn't know any of them.
So you didn't know that you were a hag at first. Like he just all of a sudden put all these women in a group and was all like, "Hey, you guys are going to be friends," basically.
Yeah. It was really weird, the stuff that they were doing. They had, when he was here, I'll never forget it. And I'm sure Tim remembers. Like they were always trying to set stuff up. It was so insane. So
like what
there was
kind of stuff?
I didn't bring up this guy's name and accounts or anything like that, but like he was trying to get me to talk to some guy in Canada, like literally in front of like Look, here's what we're going to talk about tonight, because those are the peripheral things. But the thing is, and we kind of talked a little bit about it last time, about anybody that's his friend or that he's staying with or, you know, interacting with that closely, I guarantee you he is just collecting stuff on you. Mm-hmm. Waiting for the end so that he has something. What they do, and this is what I wanted to talk about tonight, is they try to set people up. And I think that's what happened with the people that he stayed with prior to me. And that's why they backed away, didn't go against him, didn't say anything. And I did hear stories. So I can put the pieces together.
Wait. So there are people before you, before he moved in?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In New York. Yeah.
Oh, because I remember you had to help him out with his car because he had a boot on it or whatever. So that's what happened with that situation. Well, no telling what happened with them.
With this couple, and you can investigate that further. Everybody will know what.
Oh, I will.
I'm not going to say their names or any of that stuff or, you know, details. But, you know, I remember Cody telling me that, oh, yeah, he was in our room in his underwear with the cats and whatever. I think, and here's what my opinion is of what happened, is that, you know, they were drinking and whatever that night. And, you know, he came in to talk to them, hang out, whatever, probably passed out. And I guarantee you they took pictures of him. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. Wow. So let's fast forward to, you know, and I have talked about this incident before, but it's probably been forgotten. When we were at the rental, no, baby, not tonight. Come on, out. Oh, yeah, that means you too. No, don't worry about Leia. Go on. So when we were at the rental, you know, we had an issue with the construction people that day and whatever. And Tim and I, you know, kind of got into an argument or discussion argument over it. And I decided I was going to sleep on the couch that night. And, you know, my son's room, like I said, was right there, right there. And so I was like, I'll sleep on the couch. John and Cody came back upstairs and tried to get me to go stay down in their room with them. Guarantee you, I would have had pictures all over the internet. If I would have been like, oh yeah, they're like, you don't want to come down and snuggle? I was like, no,
No,
like
thank
I'm
you.
fine. And if I need a bed, I'll go lay in Jace's bed. You know, it was like a queen bed or whatever. I said, I'll go sleep in there if I want to sleep
Right.
in a bed.
Because,
I'm fine.
they don't shower. So you wasn't trying to sleep with
Well,
them. Like,
right. But like, that was such a gross, weird, I mean, like it grossed me out that and I knew exactly what they were doing right when they did it. They did.
right. Before you move on, because I wanted to kind of go back to the whole, the moderator group, but, did they take anything out your house that was of importance when they left or no? Someone
God,
asked that.
I can't even. I mean, they took so many things. Cody, and this is Cody at the end. Okay, Cody stole my brand new. Like I had Chicago cutlery that I just bought. That's not cheap. I mean, they're good knives. And I had old ones that my dad bought me like 20 some years ago, like the wooden handle ones that you can't even get anymore. Literally took all of my knives. All of my knives. Took all of my knives and left me with their like $10 red cheapy whatever, like Farberware or whatever the heck it is. You know, Tim, you know what? I wonder if I don't have it up here. Not to rehash that, but you know, Tim had a gift set that I bought him a long time ago of it's tequila. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name right now, but it's like his favorite one or whatever.
Patron?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lucky guess.
It was a 4-set. It was like different flavors and everything. He held on to that since 2008. Guess who polished all of it off? I mean, they're hand numbered bottles. They're not like, you know, it's not just like assembly line stuff. Hand numbered bottles. It was an expensive set, and they just polished it down. I mean, like it doesn't matter. You could take that or give them a bottle of mouthwash, and it would be the same to them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I mean, so stuff like that. It was all kinds of little stuff
petty,
like that.
Okay, nothing like brand. Okay, like heirlooms or nothing. Okay. Did John blow your car?
Yes, that's what I was just going to talk about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's get into that.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, literally on my birthday, they had to come. Like Cody, he didn't want to come with Cody. Probably
on your birthday.
Yes, it was like the day after my birthday that the engine blew. I was like in Starbucks parking lot. And what he doesn't know is that I've had, and again, it's just a matter of digging, but he has a big account that's like a meme account. I watched all of the stuff go on, like right then and there. He was commenting about his work here. He commented about the police officer here, his Tesla. My tooth that I'm still waiting to get in, I had to have like a bone graft and stuff. Like there was a post about me not having a tooth there.
Wow. But it looks like he can't even eat popcorn with his teeth. So I don't know why he's talking about yours.
Here's the name of the account. I mean, a lot of those posts are gone, but it's a really trashy account though. It's called Wholesome White Girl. So I'm pretty sure he named it for me. Yeah, it's out there. Yeah. There was a lot of little accounts like that's a bigger one. I'm sure he bought followers for it, but yeah.
Wow. See, and that's why I wanted to go back to the hag group that you're in, because you said he would have you guys try to get you guys to do things. Like, did you ever participate in the doxing, harassing people? Like, did you participate in that?
I would have he would have screenshots. Oh, look, Jen, this or whatever. It would be me like passing on information to him from Ellie. I mean, I looked some things up. I'm not going to say I never looked anybody up, but it's like online white pages. Okay. I mean, I don't have like apps or anything like that.
Okay.
But I never, I've looked people up, but that's it. I would never like post somebody's phone number and address and all that. So I would never do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, because the hacks today, they go pretty far. Like they go real deep. And so I was all like, well, hell, she had to have participated in it. But so you did not. So you might have looked people up, but you don't have no kind of secret technology or putting people address. Okay, I just wanted to clarify, like, how much did you hag?
I defended him. I really did. I mean, I was like, if somebody was like looked like they were being mean and picking on poor little John, I was right there like, oh, really? You know, and I'm really sarcastic and snotty. I mean, whatever, that's who I am. So, and that's how I deal with bullies. But I didn't, you know, obviously I was protecting the bully and I didn't realize that.
Right.
But I want to say, going back to that group though, this had nothing to do with any of that. This little group had nothing to do with any of that. It was really about raising money for him. I mean, I learned a lot in there. They had all kinds of little DM groups where they were like hagging for money for him, getting all kinds of money and stuff. Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, my friend and I kind of just sat there and, I mean, we didn't really participate in the discussion very much on occasion, but mostly we were just like, what's with these women? Like, what the hell? In fact, there was one point my best friend just lost it and went off on them. And I have a screenshot of that somewhere too. I think particularly City, she really handed her ass, but.
Wow. So they were trying to get him money, like money for what? Or like, is that where the fake GoFundMe's came from and stuff? Or
yeah, like I didn't even, yeah. I mean, I had no idea there were people behind the scenes getting money for him and stuff like that. I really didn't know about any of that at all.
right. But he didn't pay you any rent. So like, if anything, he should have been
yeah.
This is crazy. They were trying to come up ways with.
My total cost, especially because of the engine and all that stuff, was probably about $9,000 out of my pocket with everything. Yeah. At $9,000, we didn't have to give up. So I really, you know, and the way I live though, 82, and I think you and I maybe even talked about this a little bit, but I believe everything happens for a reason. That's just how I deal. So like, I don't go back and be like, oh, poor me that I went through that. I mean, it sucked. Yeah. I'm not going to lie that it sucked and, you know, cost us money, but I always think there's a reason. And it certainly led me to a lot of things. I mean, I've found a lot of the reasons why I had to go through that. So I don't feel sorry for myself or, I hate to say regret it. I mean, of course you regret that a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is.
Besides the money thing, did you ever see anything that was like, whoa, this is like too much and I need to back out from the HAG group, or no?
No, they were just really neurotic. I mean, it was just, it was just really neurotic craziness. I don't know, when I'm around people that are that amped up, like it's stressful to me, you know what I mean? And it was just, they were just, especially like I said, a few of them, but just bouncing off the walls, just like a manic discussion, you know? So yeah,
right.
I couldn't ever figure out why I was in there and why I had to be friends with these people, but well, now we know, so.
You know, something funny and that we talked about outside the line that I wanted to bring up now. You said that Cooter Brown had some kind of obsession with like Denny's, but Denny's at a truck stop. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he would have been here for his birthday that year, you know, and he was hell bent on not only going to Denny's, but it had to be truck stop Denny's. So, I mean, that's all he likes is truck stop Denny's. And it leads me to believe that they spend a lot of time in truck stops. And there's a lot of seedy shit that goes on at truck stops. And there was one that's not far from here because the expressway isn't that far from us. So, you know, you asked about, you know, I think I told you last time that I did see that tinfoil pipe thing or whatever a couple times. But I don't think
the tinfoil. You see like a tinfoil pipe, like where you seen it twice, right?
Yeah. When we were at the rental, and it was sitting on the shelf, they had like bookshelves that were against the wall, built-ins, against the wall when you walked into the laundry room, and it was sitting right there. They just left it out one day, and that was kind of early on. And like I said, I want to think that I took a picture, but I don't know. If I didn't have my phone down there with me, then I might not have, but I don't know. Again, it would take some digging, but I can target the dates. Obviously, it's only a month in there, you know,
right.
Go searching. But the worst, and it was so clear. I mean, it was so clear. And this is when clearly Cody slipped because, I mean, he would drink and stuff like that. but it wasn't out of control drinking like John and craziness, but he was, would drink steady.
Right.
But whatever. I mean, he wasn't being erratic or weird or anything. So whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but
Oh, before you continue, I just want to read this. Thank you, Stephanie, for the super chat. She said, you stop playing. Cooter Brown don't have teeth.
I don't know. Cody said when all that happened, he goes, Jennifer, I don't ever like fight back and hit him in the face, because he goes, I would knock those teeth right out. He's like, they would come right out. So I don't know, what that means. I called them danglers for a while. Like, I don't know if they're danglers or, if they're like, I don't know what he's got in there, but yeah. So
Right.
I don't think they're holding on for dear life, but.
Did he ever bite into an apple while you guys were, while he was?
Look, okay, we all know that Jen goes to Costco. Okay. I would take them shopping with me like they were my kids. Like, okay, guys, let's go to Costco. I mean, he has pictures of that, like big can of tuna and whatever, when we were at Costco. And so this is why
you were asking me to ask you about Costco?
Yeah, probably. And
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Because the Home Depot Jen thing, I was actually at Costco, not at Home Depot that night, but it just looks, they look the same. So, but anyway, so we were shopping and I was getting us I wanted to get some stuff to make a good dinner for all of us. And so, Cody was always tagging along by me or whatever. And I don't know, John was probably on the phone somewhere, running around Costco or something. But Cody was with me and I was like, I wanted to get steaks. And he was like, Jennifer, John can't eat steak. He can't chew that. So I didn't get steaks for real. So then he made a point later to make sure that they ate steaks live, to prove that he can eat steak. But hey, I'm just telling you what your husband said, man. So.
Oh my God. Hey, everybody, put a steak in the chat right now. Put all steaks in the chat. Whenever you think about something, put a steak in the chat. That is hella funny. So, okay, so he ate a steak in front of you to kind of prove he can't eat it. Oh, no, he never did.
This is on a live this is long after Cody was back with them and they started doing all those little cooking things or whatever at their Roach Motel or whatever. And yeah, he made sure to make a steak and because obviously that was very triggering for him, I guess.
Hey, Cody had to chew it up for him and then spit it.
I was thinking that, honestly. I almost was going to say that to you, like a bird.
Right.
It in his mouth.
Okay, so
And
going back to the Cody thing, because you said you didn't he would drink, but it wasn't too he wouldn't get crazy like Cooter Brown.
Yeah. I mean, if it was my husband or something, I'd be concerned about him drinking every day like that. But I mean, he wasn't being obnoxious or falling over or whatever. He wasn't being a problem here with his drinking. So I, mind.
But what was the pipe for, though? Could you kind of guess what it was for?
I thought maybe it was just for pot. But it was actually Shelly. Thanks, Shell, who I talked to about it. Yeah, because I mean, she has her history or whatever.
The woman that turned on you?
Yeah. Yeah. And I asked her, because I don't know about meth and stuff. I don't. I mean, I don't know enough about.
Right. I've had it smoked in front of me one time, but I had to run out the room, and so I was gonna be in a menage a trois, and then I had to escape out the room before they took my virginity. It was a lot going on, but keep going.
It wasn't just the meth you were running from.
Yeah. So you had asked Scully about it, and she had told you.
And she explained to me, and she was like, "Oh no, yeah, definitely." She goes, "That's definitely what the pipe was for, whatever." She goes, "Yeah, So because I said, could it have been for something else?" And she goes, "Absolutely." She goes, "Yeah, you use that kind of stuff to on the fly, drugs." But here was the thing that I can say with most certainty, I have no doubt. And this was not long before Cody left, probably a week or two. Before he actually left here, that he wasn't working that night. He was home, and we ordered a pizza, and it wasn't a place that could be delivered here. It was kind of further away, so it had to be picked up. And you know, like I said, he would, you know, they would both leave every day to go get cigarettes. And I can't relate. Like I have my e-cigarettes and I get a couple packs, so I don't have to go get them again for a while, you know?
Right. Go back again.
Right. So whatever. But they would, you know, go every day. And so he was really eager to go get this pizza. And I'm like, well, shit, you know, it was winter. I didn't want to drive and go out in the cold. And I was like, okay, fine. You know, if you're going to get cigarettes, fine. So he was gone for quite a while. And I know how long it takes. I mean, it is a little bit of a drive, but like getting that and cigarettes doesn't take that long. He left here fully sober, like, I mean, straight and narrow, you know, normal. Came back like an hour and a half later, blitzed out of his mind. This wasn't alcohol. I guarantee you it was not alcohol. He couldn't even stand. And the pizza, in this particular pizza place, they just do paper over the pizza. It's not even like a box or anything. And he walks in and he hands me the pizza. And I'm like, did you drop it or something? Like it was all wet on the bottom, snow.
It was,
you know? Wet, like it was completely, I could feel it. I said, did you drop it in the snow or something? He was like, no, but you can see it's destroyed. Then I opened it up. I mean, I don't know what the hell he did. I don't know if he rolled his, I mean, honestly, like the pizza, the topping wasn't on it. It was just all jumbled up like spaghetti or something. I mean, it was awful. We kind of just scooped our pizza, you know, ate the toppings off and whatever, you know, like $50 down the drain. And yeah, I mean, and he couldn't stand. And then he ended up going into his bedroom the rest of the night. I don't think he even came out, but he was definitely on something. There is no doubt in my mind. Absolutely none.
Right. Some people wanted to know, like, did they ever admit to anything like in the past or no?
They joked about meth, which was really weird because like they overdid it. There was a couple lives where they took like my son's Cheerios and they were calling them Methios and blah, blah, blah. But one in particular, it was so artificial. It was so artificial that it made you go, well, clearly you do it. I mean, because Cody made such an issue about it. He's like, I don't even know where meth comes from. Do you grow it? It's like, oh, come on, Cody. I mean, I don't even know about meth and I know you don't grow it. I mean, you know, I know it's like, isn't it like rock form or something? I mean, it's right. It's something like that. I mean, you don't grow rocks, you know, in fact, meth labs. I mean, we know about meth labs. That's where they're grown. You know?
Right. And thank you, Stephanie, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Did Cody ever cook in the kitchen or anything like that? Because it's like he makes these mushrooms and everybody's been talking about the mushrooms.
Now, he was really good. I'll tell you, Cody always did the dishes. He did always do the dishes and clean up the dishes and stuff like that. He tried to cook a couple of times, but like when he cooked, okay, so Tim gets paid, you know, whatever. We're used to it now. It's been however many years, 12 years or whatever. But he gets paid once a month from Northwestern, once a month, you know, so all my big bills get paid, everything off the top at the beginning of the month. And what you have left is what you have left for everything else.
Right.
So I only go shopping. I only go to the grocery store once a month. That's it. And I stock up and I have the room to stock up now, you know, so I buy stuff in more bulk really. And so like, you know, butter, you know, I'll get a big thing from Costco of butter, you know, whatever, everything that Cody used. He was trying to cook and stuff, but like it was clear that he's not skilled in it. He would use an ingredient and use everything. Like he would use, we only had so much butter that should have lasted several meals and several weeks or whatever. And he used all of it like in one meal. And, you know, stuff like that. It's like, you know, I buy big bags of like the frozen chicken breast and I'll take, you know, if I make a meal for the three of us, I'll make usually 4 or 5 breasts. Like Tim will have more than one. I'll usually just have one little one. Jace, you know, it varies. So then there's some leftovers. Literally use a whole 10-pound bag of chicken. It's like, do you know how much that cost? That was like 30 something bucks. And then it just sat in the fridge. There was so much of it, like, and nobody ate it.
Oh, and nobody ate leftovers or nothing. Well, probably people didn't want to eat his food.
Right. Yeah. It was Yeah, he was very wasteful, not intentionally, but it showed me like he didn't really know what he was doing. I mean, because normal people, yeah, you just don't. I don't know.
Yeah. And you know what the funny part is? It's like, okay, say they can't get groceries for the whole home, but like at least like get groceries for yourself. Like don't like take somebody's
Right.
food and eat all their food. Like
They literally, John got so mad because I wouldn't let him take my kids' hot dogs. I was like, look, my kid is on a special diet. He's 7. 7-year-olds don't eat a lot of things. Like,
right, they're
they're
picky.
in that age where it's like, I ate 3 things and whatever. And so, I mean, he's very limited as to what he can eat. And we do pretty good, but yeah, and I was like, no, that you cannot have the hot dogs. Like, no, that is Jace's. And he literally got mad. It's like, dude, why do you think you're equal to my child? Like,
Right,
I've let you stay here. When I said you'll have a roof over your head and food, I meant like, I'll cook dinner, but like, hey, you can go get McDonald's or whatever you're going to do during the day. You can go pick up some snacks for yourself. I drink Coke. I mean, I'm tried and true. That's whatever. And he also drinks Coke. And I'll get 2 cases at a time, so it lasts forever. He would
right.
polish it like it would be gone. And I'd never even have, I'd have like 1 Coke out of a case of pop. That was it. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was just so insulting. It's like, why do you feel entitled to my belongings? You should be, I mean, and again, it's not like I want anybody to be like, oh God, you helped me so much or anything like that. But like, don't be such a dick
Right.
about it. Like,
Be
I don't owe
grateful,
you anything. I don't owe you anything at all. Nobody owes you anything, I mean, so yeah, I mean, it really irritated the crap
Would
out
they
of me.
use all your toilet paper?
Shh. You know what? Can you see back there? Here.
Hold on, I think. Oh,
Yeah, my
okay, I
Christmas
can
tree
see
is
back there.
it will be done in the next couple of days finally. But there's a built-in planter there. There's not a lot of plants in there right now, just the desert ones that know how to survive here. But yeah, it's planters there. Tons of used tissue stuffed in there.
Oh,
Stuffed
wait,
in there.
used
snot rags stuffed in my planters.
Oh,
Like my kid didn't even do that when he was 2. You are a grown man. What is wrong with you? Like what? He puked in my fridge. I mean, I'm sure you heard that's
no!
that's story we could talk about.
He
When he
puked in
puked,
your fridge?
he went downstairs, 99% sure intentionally, vomited on the 12-pack of Coke that is in the downstairs fridge. And I got to clean that up when I discovered it, a couple weeks later. He's feral. I mean, what human does that? I don't care if you're mad I mean, like, those are just not human things to do. I don't
Because
even
I
know.
usually look for a toilet when I have to throw up or a garbage can.
He would throw up in my sink all the time. My sink in the bathroom kept getting clogged when he was here. It was so gross. Like, what are you doing? Taking a dump in there? Like, I just, I really haven't thought about these things for a really long time. And it's just like, when I think about them again, I'm like, I've never seen anything like it
Yeah,
before. I
so
really haven't.
it was common for him to be gagging and throwing up in like the bathroom, like in the sink and like the toilet and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he might have had an eating disorder? I don't want to put
That's
that on
possible.
him.
You know what? That is possible. I mean, just considering the totality of his background and his issues and everything, it would fit. It would fit with his issues and stuff. But I don't know.
Wow, oh my God. And so you would have
Mm-hmm.
to call Roto-Rooter to come and like, or did you just take the plunger? Like, did they
Well,
help?
once he left, there was no more problems. So
Explains it all.
right. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't have words for that stuff. I really don't. I'm like, how do you, it's just not a normal experience, so.
Yeah, none of that is normal at all. Like, it definitely is not. And I just think like, damn, how did you go through this shit?
I survived.
You,
whatever.
you
I mean, I said to him, that again, we talked about that. Like that's what pissed him off so much about me is because he couldn't get under my skin. He couldn't. That's his thing is to get under people's skin. And it's like, he just worked so hard. And it wasn't working, so that's when he went after my child. But
but did
okay.
he ever whatchamacallit, do like the YouTube thing from your home and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like did he work at least?
Yeah, because initially when they got here, I didn't want people to know that they were here. I didn't want, his haters calling and stirring, and having chaos around our house and whatever. I mean, for God's
Right.
sake, I had a woman fly over my house the first time he was here, so like, give me more of that, so of course I was like, no, I don't want anybody to know you're here. I don't want the drama. Like, we'll help you, but like, so I would tell him like, you can't be obvious where you are in this house. And so he would just sit in his room, against the blank wall or whatever. But like I said, that night that the fight happened, that's why Tim thought that he was just going live, because he was being loud and obnoxious. Oh, there's Prince. Hi, Prince.
Right.
Well,
Shout out to Starfish and Coffee. Thank you. What I wanted to ask you was because it's crazy thinking about it. Like, have you ever, because you're probably traumatized, have you ever had anyone else in your house or never again?
Oh, F no. Ever, 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 ever again. Ever, ever. That's what made me mad, really, 82. I mean, after it was all said and done, it was right when quarantine hit. And honestly, that was such a peaceful time here. We were all fine just being by ourselves, the three of us, and peaceful and whatever. And I needed that to kind of, regain some footage and get some clarity, really,
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it was, I did. I had PTSD. I really did. I mean, I really truly did. And it's, the whole thing is documented in my doctor's notes. I mean, I specifically, the first live that he did, Cody knows. Cody knew that it was documented with my doctor's office. Like, she sat down and documented the whole thing. So it is in my medical records. She was really concerned about me because when I get stressed, like some people, and it just depends on the person or whatever. Some people stress eat, like overeat when they're stressed. I don't eat.
Right.
So I lost a lot of weight, and she was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
No, she was really concerned. I mean, she really was. And so that's all documented in there too. I mean,
And
it wasn't all because of him, but.
And I've never asked you, like, did it take emotional toll? And you just answered that. I appreciate that. Like, you physically were ill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's documented. I mean, it's well documented. Absolutely. Yeah, it was, of course, a wild story, for them. But yeah, I mean, she's got it all in my records. So,
and people wonder why we have this whole cancel Cooter Brown hashtag going on. Like, this man made you he is physically ill just looking at him, but he made you physically ill. Like, how much shit he put you through.
Yeah. And, and again, just like Tim said the other day, do what you want to me. But what really angered me is what he's done to my son. Really. I mean, really. Right. This little boy knows way more than he needs to now just because.
Oh, no, her internet went out. Okay, we still hear you guys. I'm going to play a commercial and see if she comes back, okay? Let me find one.
Remix. Come on, come on. I know you're not an avatar, but baby girl, you ugly, damn. I know you're not an avatar, but baby girl, you scaring me, Kiana. Yeah, yeah, bust a Kiana, yeah, yeah. Baby girl, you're kinda ugly, yeah, yeah. Baby girl, you're related to Freddie, yeah, yeah. Baby girl, you give me nightmares.
All right, and we're back, and my guest is back as well too. Okay, question for you, because that the song had me thinking about some of his disciples and followers that he has. Like, is there any benefit to being his friend? Like health benefit, money benefit? Like, what is the benefit?
It's a bunch of people that, I mean, come on, you know, it's hard to even have this discussion because it's like on such a macro level, but like you either are solid or you're not. You either, you know, are whole or you're not. And those are empty people looking to fill voids in themselves for attention or for whatever, you know, their individual reasons or whatever, but that gets their rocks off for whatever reason, like getting attention from him or something, I guess. I don't know. You know, and like I said, I told you, like, I mean, as he progressed doing this, it's like, I wouldn't give him that attention. It's like, look, I'm your friend, but I don't really give a shit that you're a blogger or whatever, you know. And I literally told him one time, like, I don't care if you have 0 followers or 100,000, it doesn't matter, you know?
Right.
So,
question for you, because earlier in the thing, I didn't want to throw you off, but I don't know if there was a troll or a real person. They tried to say that you participated in tracking people IP addresses down. Do you want to? Okay.
No.
So you don't have access to track anybody's IP to get there. Okay,
No.
thank you.
No,
because
I
you
didn't
know
get
they
my
love to put stuff on you like that.
They're trying to, like, no. You know, my husband actually has to work and works a lot. He doesn't have time to do stupid shit on the internet. Sorry. Seriously.
Right. So how did you become like the bad guy? Like, because my thing is, like, you were the one who had your home trashed. Like, how did you become the bad guy?
Well, again, I mean, because I used to defend him. And so there's a lot of people that, you know, I got in their faces and said not nice things to them defending them. And so, I mean, that's what happens out there, you know? So I don't blame, I mean, the people that are still carrying grudges, like, okay, get over it, really. I mean, you know, but I mean, I've talked to a lot of people individually, you know, to go past it. Now, I'm not going to say too much, but I mean, there's, you know, that history, and then there's 2 ladies out there that try to keep that alive. And I'm not going to mention their names, mostly for my friend's sake. But I haven't forgotten either one of you, just to let you know that.
Oh, wow. Question for you. Does he split any of the money that he makes from YouTube with his mods or anything like that?
Are you kidding me? Come on now. You really have to ask that, AT2. Yeah, he's a very generous guy.
I knew it, but I had to ask it. Like, has he ever, like, bought you like a Coke or anything? Like,
Did you really just say that? No, I was thinking I was going to finish earlier. So remember when he was like drinking all my cases of Coke? There was once or twice to the gas station and got me a Coke when he got one for himself. And he's like, oh, I got you a Coke. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't drink it right at that minute. So then he drank it. So he kind of got me one, but then he drank it. So.
Wow. And I remember you had told me you were uncomfortable with being online. Like, you only did one video with him, but like you were very uncomfortable with it. Like, did he ever
No, I never did any videos, actually.
Oh, you never did? Oh, okay.
No.
I thought it was something like you were like in the background or something like that. Or no.
He had asked in the beginning when he first started doing Periscope. Like I said, I actually was friends with him before he started hanging out with Beth, because that's when he started hanging out with Beth. And Beth, he wasn't sure, you know, they were just kind of becoming friendly and everything. And he wasn't sure that she was going to show up for the Periscope that night. And he was like, oh my God, will you go on with me if she doesn't show up? But she did end up showing up. So I didn't. No, in fact, it was funny because when he came here in May of 2019, where he stopped on his way to Utah, there was actually a big discussion about that, because we had gone out to eat that night when they got here, and then came back and had a few drinks here. And that is when Pillow Talk was just starting. It literally had just started.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted me to do like a spoof with him. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I'm like, I really am not about getting on the internet. And I looked at Tim and said, "What do you think? Like, I don't think we need to be on the internet," you know? And
Right.
so I said no, and that was it. So no, I mean,
So you were happy in the
I didn't
background.
care. I never cared about any of it. I mean, he wanted people to believe I did, I guess, but still not impressed, John. Still not impressed.
Right. So you never wanted any kind of like attention or anything like that. You were fine just being a moderator and that's it. Like you didn't
I
want.
didn't want to be anything. I didn't want to be anything. It was just this guy's friend from the freaking internet, you know, and it spun into all this. So no, I don't care. I don't care about any of this. I don't care. I don't care. Not at all.
Right. He's, you know, I will say one thing, like he's able to get people like really like emotionally attached to him. Like, is there anything that he like says to get like these women like
it's that broken little boy bullshit is what it is. Oh, poor hurt broken little boy. Oh. No, that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still am like, how? Because like I said, I pride myself on seeing people like him coming. So that did throw me for a loop. It really did.
Right.
And
What drew you to him originally? Dear Dana wanted to know that. What drew you to him?
I just, like I said on the last show, the last time we did it, you know, I had my son, he was a baby then. It was just a mom thing. I started watching the show as soon as it started, and I started tweeting about it and finding funny tweets, and that's how I found him. And he only had like 4,000 followers. I mean, he was just a dude on the internet doing funny tweets. I didn't know that he wanted to be famous or anything like that. I mean, that, you know, his following grew in time, and obviously I learned that he always wanted to do that kind of stuff, but I didn't know.
Oh, so he was just somebody cool that you met off of Twitter and stuff. Never like, oh, I'm a fan of his. I want to. Okay.
No. I mean, you know, it grew as I was friends with him. Like I said, I was friends with him before he started stuff with Beth. He wasn't anything. He wasn't. He was just a dude on the internet. Sorry.
Right. So just to clarify, you knew him before he started doing the whole internet and like really picked up a following. And so you knew him before.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was, I probably met him right when he was just about to take off with it. But yeah, it was, he just was starting to do the periscopes and stuff. So.
Right. Question.
And I never watched them. I mean, I like would I had a reminder on my phone. I think it was like on Sunday night or something. Because I think he would do it like right after the show or maybe even during the show. But it was usually grading and whatever. And I would try to, you know, put a reminder in my phone. But I couldn't pay attention to that and grade at the same time. So I would, you know, 9 times out of 10, I missed them.
Right.
Which I'm sure
how come his career never took off?
Because he is the way he is. I mean,
true.
You know, I mean, I don't even know how to put that in any more words. I mean, you just have to watch him for a little while. He's unstable. I mean, he's volatile. He's abusive. Like, can you pick a good thing? Because I can't. I mean, he can't even control himself for a little while. Again, working in mental health, most people, regardless of their issues, can put on a public face for a little while and get through stuff, no matter what their issues are. This man clearly can't even do that. So
that's true. Do you know, because somebody wanted to know, do you know who's like funding him? Like who gives him like the most money, or it can be any
that, you know, I know, or I believe anyway, I don't know. That I've heard Christy Denver has given him a lot of money. But again, you know, then I think back to that little group and like, there's people that are like Ellie, his crazy, like worshiper, like she'd wear his skin. Ellie would wear his skin if she could.
I should have swallowed before you said it.
Sorry. And honestly, the last time I talked to her was right before he came, and it was all around Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And I remember telling her, she was like, I want to send him. She's on like disability and stuff. I mean, she's barely getting by every month. You know what I mean? She's got to ration her stuff, obviously. And I mean, So, and she was going to send like $70 to him or whatever, because she wanted them to have a turkey. And it's like, Ellie, but you need to eat first before you go send money to someone like John. So, I mean, that should
Right.
kind of show you the mentality of some of the people involved, because like, why would you feed him before you feed yourself? You know, I don't, yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I
Right.
gave up a long time ago trying to figure them out. Other than I do see on a bigger level, you know, he's got his issues and his issues with women because of his childhood and mom. And then it's like these women are the flip, where they're the moms that have the issues, and like the one I was just talking about, you know, no relationship with your kids or whatever because they're so done with you, kind of thing, or whatever. So it
Right.
seems to be like some kind of reciprocal thing that kind of goes on there, you know, little symbiotic, you know, bad mommy syndrome thing. I don't know.
That kind of makes sense what you're saying. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Was there anything with Cody, your relationship with Cody, that you wanted to get off your chest, or did you say everything that you wanted?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because we did talk a little bit last week, and I was telling somebody, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to talk about this tonight, because there are things that I really haven't brought up, mostly just because there's so much, you know, that it's
Right.
just like I really didn't even ever talk about the adult protective services calls until they kind of came out recently or whatever, because it was just like it fell by the wayside. You know, it's like, okay, it
Right.
wasn't the
Right.
main. But since these lunatics have the audacity to make criminal accusations that are completely unfounded. I mean,
Right.
he cracks me up getting up here. I won these cases. I won these. You didn't win shit. You know, first of all, you know, we talked about that already with the restraining order here. You know, if I would have called the cops while we were at court and they picked him up for the domestic violence, then there would have been a criminal record, and we could have done the criminal, you know, done our own criminal court, because that's where they are in Indiana. So you have to have criminal charges to do that. So that was, but that's just the state. I mean, there's domestic violence victims that go with.
Oh. She'll be back, y'all. She'll be back. Don't worry. Don't worry. Has anyone heard how his grandpa is doing? Oh, that I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're back. You're back. Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, there's trust me, I know domestic violence victims that have plenty of proof of violence and still don't get the restraining order. So it's just the way the state works. But you know, so it's like, it's so funny how he goes out and says that, or even the court case, he didn't win anything, like nothing. It just didn't proceed. We could have proceeded, but you know, so he didn't win anything. It got dropped on the plaintiff's side, not because of anything he did. And even that, someone's lawyer, I think it was Sherrell's lawyer, that made a point of saying that, you know, back then too, or something, like somebody's lawyer that was involved and said, no, you didn't win anything. Here's what happened in court or whatever, you know? So, but, yeah. So.
And you know what? With the lawsuit, like, did you? Oh, now there's an echo.
Oh no. There's no other windows open.
Okay.
Can you hear?
Oh, I think it went away.
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to go back to this because otherwise I'll.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I don't want you to lose your train of thought.
Yeah. So we were talking about how he was accusing me of rape, and somebody said something about, yeah, he said you put your hand on his thigh or something like that. Okay. So I'm like, what is he even talking about? But I know what he tried to spin into that. So it was right when he told us, it was the day he told us he was leaving, that he was going back. And don't let me forget to tell you the story of what he really said he was doing, because I've never really talked about that either. But so their room was back there. That's, Tim's office. And Tim was out here, and Cody had just told us, I think, that he was, going to Florida. and he was going to go back to Florida. And so we were like, so I walked in his room, he sat down, and I sat down next to him, and I put my hand on his knee. I like patted him on the knee, and I said, so I'm like, you're gonna be leaving, huh? You know, and that was it. I mean, nope. So kids trying to come out here again now. But yeah, so I mean, that's just, I don't know, maybe I'm like Biden or something, you know, with the hugs. But I mean, seriously, I touch people, because the other thing is, when John came back to get his clothes, it was the same thing. So we're standing in the bedroom, and Beth's daughter was in there, and well, all four of us were in there actually, and he was getting all crazy, and so I reached and like grabbed his wrist, like to calm him down, and that's when you hear on his audio or whatever, like, don't touch me, I'm gonna call the cops, ah! And I was like, oh, here we go. I'm like, all right. But I mean, so you can see me, like, I'm a handsy person or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm assuming he's spinned into it. Yeah. But things came up long before that. And this was Tim. I never said any, well, I probably told a few people, but we were actually sitting right out here. That's when I had my big couch and everything up here. And well, you guys know I have fibromyalgia. My back's all messed up, all kinds of stuff. So like one thing I'll do is I have these tennis balls that are like kind of tied together, and I roll on my spine to crack it. So I got on the ground to do that. Okay. Like it's a real cheap device. I mean, out of all the things that I own, that is the best. And it'll cost you like $5, you know? So I have to lay on the ground to like roll up and down my spine. And Tim and Cody were both sitting here. And after I got done, and Cody must have gone back to his room, Tim said to me, he's like, Cody was like checking out your boobs. He was like totally checking out your chest and everything. And he's like, Jennifer, I think he has a crush on you. I'm like, he's gay, Tim. Like, come on. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, maybe he, you know, yeah. And so Tim was the one that noticed. I just never really made an issue of that. So, but I kept it in the back of my mind. And right, again, talking about how they try to set people up. And I knew that's what he was doing, especially this time. This is like a day or two before he was leaving. I was going to bed. Oh, our lights just went down. They're all on like, set, you know, him and his technology and stuff. So, so he, what was I saying? Cody was, what was it? There was that incident.
Oh, he was checking you out when you did the, yeah.
I know. I'm forgetting. There's like three things. So there was that, when he was leaving. Oh, okay. This is what I was like 2 days. It was like he already knew he was leaving, you know? And he was sitting out here. I had gone to bed, or I was already like getting ready for bed or something. And I came back out here for something, or maybe went into the kitchen, and he goes, come here. He goes, could you give me a massage right here? He's like, it hurts really, really bad. You know, can you, like, there's bad knots here. Can you massage it for me? And I was like, well, all right. So I like took my knuckles and whatever. I mean, I do this all by myself. And then he was like, oh, he's like, you want me to rub out the knots for you there? And I was like, I knew what he was trying to do. And it was so creepy. And I mean, and I don't even mean even in a sincere way. It was clear he was trying to create some kind of creepy setup. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised he didn't use that to spin some kind of story, honestly.
Right. Almost. You know I mean? He was trying to set you up, basically, and then they're like, oh, she was touching me, and then she... I don't even... Like, these people are crazy.
I mean, like, both of them, you know, I just can't say it enough. It wouldn't matter. Let's say I had the libido of an 18-year-old boy and I was desperate. I mean, there's no planet in this solar system, in this universe, where you would be the one, ever, either one of you. It's gross. You're gross. Like, it's
right. And here's my thing too. It just seems that they were trying to put you in situations where they can use it against you once you have a falling out. I don't think people realize a lot of times what happens is that people will try to set you up and put you in scenarios. And then once you guys have a falling out, they'll be all like, "Oh, see, this is what you did and this," and spill all your
Yeah,
secrets.
see,
And that's
I
unfortunately
mean,
what
if I would
happened.
have known, if I really would have understood that he was like that, obviously I'm sure, I would have bailed a long time ago. I really didn't get the depth of his darkness. I mean, I don't know how else to
Mhm.
say it. I really didn't get it until I experienced it myself. So,
Right.
but
And I think a
whatever.
lot of people don't, because I didn't know how to play this whole internet game either. And now that I know how to play it, there's shit that I would never do again, And I'm pretty
Right,
sure,
right.
like you said, you still got PTSD. You're not letting anybody into your home, sleeping, staying with you, you
And that's
know?
hard, AT2, because that is who I am. I mean, that I can't help it. It's why I'm in a helping profession. It's like, I will help you. I will help. It doesn't matter. Like, what? It doesn't matter what the situation is. If I see a person, a human being in pain, okay, I might like dislike you, 5 hours before because of your politics or whatever. But like, if something is happening to you, all I see is a human being that needs help. I really do. I mean, I put aside that stuff, and that's how I am. And so I was really hurt after, because I didn't want, I mean, it turned me cold. I was like, oh my God, am I just going to be an asshole who doesn't want to help people anymore? And that made me angry, because I really did feel that way for a little while. But, I found the balance back, and, just stay away from
Right.
psycho.
See, why was this for Jen? She said she has recordings of how all of that went down.
Yeah, it's on, yeah, you can look on my, I can send them to you from my IG. It's all up there. It's still all up there.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's there.
the reason why I brought up the lawsuit thing is because, like, were you one of the people that tried to serve him, but he kept ducking and dodging and stuff like that? Or
No, no,
oh, okay, okay,
no, well, I mean, I shouldn't say that, because theoretically, yes, because of the RO, but in this state, you don't have to be served. Like, he doesn't have. We could have proceeded without him being served, as long as they tried reasonably to. So, he didn't even have to be served for that to proceed. So,
oh,
I
okay,
probably, in reality, I'm going to tell you, AT2. In reality, if I had just shut my mouth and proceeded, he probably would have had an RO on him, because he wouldn't have known to show up. So, I probably would have got it by default.
right,
Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
right. But I get it, because you're just like, I want to get this mother right now.
Well, it's because Beth was harassing the hell out of me. So I was like, okay, don't believe me. Here's the.
Oh no, oh no. Okay, she'll be back. She'll be back, y'all. Um, we'll probably do like another 10 minutes or so. What I'm gonna do is drop the link and then see if anyone has any questions or anything like that. Oh, she's back. She's back. She's back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yo, your internet.
I know. It's like weird. This is such a bad spot right here. And it's just like all the trees around us and everything. So yeah, we get dead space right here where my computer is. So
Do you live in like the middle of the country?
we live on Lake Michigan, actually. You can,
Oh,
in fact, in the winter, we can see the shoreline. Well, until like later spring, then it kind of fills up, but we can actually see the shoreline from the windows out here. So
okay. Because
it's about a
moderator Colt 45 had posted something about like Denver or Colorado.
For me.
Honestly, I don't know what it was about. She kept tagging me in shit, and I kept telling her to stop it.
Well, she was probably. Oh, that's right. I remember. Probably Christy Denver. I mean, I don't know what her.
No,
her
because
full
it was a
name is.
negative post, so it wouldn't have been her. No.
I don't know. I don't know who else is out there in Denver. What that would be about.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know why she kept posting it. I just thought I would ask you. I should have paid attention to the post, but I really didn't care.
Last year, okay, I think it just came up, like somebody posted it or whatever. But last year, when all this was going on, I think it was Glen Crack Cottage account that posted a picture of, it was like the hotel room that they were staying in, basically, and there was a picture on the wall, and she put a picture of Julie and her husband in it, and I reposted it. And that was when my husband started getting texts and phone calls threatening legal. Yeah, she said she talked to the detective and that if we didn't respond and I didn't take it down in 15 minutes, she was proceeding with legal action. The girl's got thin skin, man. Thin skin. I literally repost that, like all that because of a little meme that was reposted. It was, that
Wow.
tells you, so that tells you why you're dealing with stuff like that. I mean, she can't handle it. She can't handle it.
And another thing that I realized is that there was like a post from someone, and they were basically like, "Watch out because Cooter Brown is trying to contact people who dox people and stuff like that." Like, so are you worried now that you're speaking out that old stuff might come out and your deep dark
Let
secrets?
them keep going.
Okay.
I don't, again, I can't even, I can't even try to get in their heads. Like, I don't know why I don't know why they proceed doing the things that they do. Like, I guess they're just waiting for, I don't know. I'm not even going to guess anymore, but it's really stupid. But hey, you do you. You want to keep doing stupid shit? Okay. Like I said, I don't care. I mean, I'm not even paying attention to what's going on, whatever happened, whatever with, them bringing up me. And I really just don't care. Like, you do not matter in my world. Not a single one of you. Not you,
Right.
Shelley. Not John. You don't matter. I'm sorry. You don't matter.
Before I end this, what I wanted to say was that there was somebody who made me aware of something. I guess Cooter Brown had said that he reached out to one of my family members and they were going to put like a crazy allegation against me. I just want everybody to know before he even does that, it's false. And no family member that I know he has reached out to. And there's only so many people with my last name that's related to me that he could reach out. So basically, he's just going to pick a black person from the crowd and say, this is like my cousin or something. So don't.
Look what they did. Look what they did. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff that came around when they were like going like crazy over my husband's family and stuff. Like this moron sat in front of my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law at Christmas dinner and didn't even know who the fuck when he went out searching for them. Like, came up with crazy, that's his cousin's brother, so his mom owns a bit. Like, really? Do you just like
trash.
Throw a dart and see where it lands? I mean, I'd be embarrassed to do such shoddy work and that's just what they do. So whatever.
Right. What are your thoughts on the fan page on Reddit being shut down? Like, were you surprised? Because I was surprised because it's been around forever, right?
They've been, I'm sure, from I used to not know. Okay, I shouldn't say I didn't know about Reddit. I knew there was something about Reddit, but he always steered me clear. And I'm like, do I need to get an account? Like, should I get an account? No, you don't want that. You don't want to deal with all that. I'm like, oh, well, no, I probably would have found out the truth about him sooner had I done that, But so I did. I was, I just avoided it and never checked it out until until 2020, that was the first time. So I'm honestly surprised that it lasted as long as it did, just because him and the Hags are so obsessed with it. Obviously, they spend all their time focusing on it, reading it, obsessing about it, and reporting it. So, what was it, like 2 years or something that they were up?
Yeah.
That's a good run with the Hags and stuff after you, like, day after day. So.
Yeah, mass flagging, reporting, they did all that and finally got it taken down.
Yeah. He's always going to win a battle here and there. And then he acts like he won, the war, but the war's not over. Right. It never ends. Not until you're gone. It never ends.
The war is still going on. And one thing I will say is that it's going to come back. I promise you guys, it will come back. Everything will be documented and his history will be shown to the world. So don't even worry about it. Something is in the works. I can't say too much, but something is in the works. Definitely.
Cool. Right on. Well, we'll chat and Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have time for this crap and all this. I don't pay attention, and that's what it's all about. They just want to get under people's skin. So can't
Right.
waste your time with me.
They want
Sorry,
to scare you into shutting up, and that's what they were
that's
trying
never
to
gonna
do.
happen. Yeah.
Right?
Do
They
I
thought
look
you were
like
gonna
a
hide. They were like, "Oh, after this, I know she's gonna go back hiding." But no, that's why I wanted you back on the show, because I was all like, you know what? She's gonna stay. She's staying here. She's not afraid of you guys, and
no,
you're not even fighting. I wouldn't even say you're fighting back. They literally are fighting with themselves, because, like I said, when they tag me and stuff, I don't care.
right? Yeah, no, I could care less. I mean, whatever. I mean, what do you expect them to do? What Think about it. Let's back it up a few steps here. 82. How do you expect white racists to react when you call them racist? I mean, they're a problem because they can't deal with it.
Right.
That's why they're the problem. So, I mean, if they could be like, oh, have some humility. Ooh, maybe I need to take a look at myself. Hey, they
Yeah.
wouldn't be an issue. So,
They never look inside themselves and be like, "Oh, I need to maybe change something," or maybe I need to educate myself more. Literally, those ignorant bastards on the other side, they think they're right. They don't think anything is wrong with them. Oh, see the way I continued, even though she dropped out. I'm gonna see if she'll come back before we say goodbye, you guys. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
oh Lord, yeah. Next time, I just realized too I could wear earbuds, so maybe that'll help with the noise stuff. But anyway, yeah, I mean they're so, for anybody to hurt you, you have to give a shit about them and care about their opinion. Like, do you people really think you matter? I'm just curious. Like, what made
Because they don't.
in the morning and say, like, I'm so important that I'm going to ruin people's lives today? Like, really? Look
I
at
know.
look at the individual people involved. I'm not even going to pick everybody apart. It's a motley crew, and whatever. So,
Right. Well, Jen, thank you so much for coming back on the show today. I really do appreciate it. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or just say bye to the people?
I will say bye in a minute. Let me see, because I did want to make sure we covered everything. I did jot down some notes. Yeah. No, I think we did. We hit it all. We did. Yeah. No, so, no, I just appreciate the audience and really just talking to you, like I said, so I can I'm comfortable telling it in chronological order, and you bring me back into play when we get off on a tangent. So I think it's been really productive, and I appreciate it.
Right, because everybody be talking about, oh yeah, she'd be all over the place and stuff like that. So I had to rein it back in.
Rein it in. So, no, I think we really, there's not, we talked about the last few things that never really got out there. So I think we covered it all.
Right. And Jen, I just want to say thank you so much for being brave and being able to speak out when you see something is wrong, because I think there's been so much craziness, and it's good to have somebody who's like not overly emotional in stuff, and like be able to be like, okay, well, this is my experience, this is my story, and this is what happened, because this thing is so deep. People just think like it's on YouTube. Like, this man knows how to get inside your home, not inside your brain, but inside your home, your brain, everything, and manipulate people. And it's a history of what he does. And this is why I wanted to do an interview instead of me just coming on and being like, he's a shitty person, he's a shitty person, he's a shitty person, because we know that, right? We know he's a shitty person. Like, I don't need to keep telling you this.
Right.
I needed to show you why he's a shitty person,
Right. And and we talked about last time, the problem is it continues to happen, and new people come in and they don't know, and it's just repeating, and that's the cycle that needs to stop. Because like I said, there's a few people that really invested in him, trying to help him. And it's like, okay, that's exactly what I tried to do, and you saw how it turned out for me. So what made you think it was going to turn out different for you, But everybody's got to make their own mistakes and learn their own lessons sometimes. But that's what we're just trying to do. Like, stop people from having to go through all that, and stop him from being able to do it, obviously.
Exactly. I totally agree about that. Well, Jen, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And tell Tim and Jace I said hello as well, too.
Sure will. All right.
You have a good one.
Thanks.
Yo, I love talking to Jen. I'm gonna hit her up after the show too and talk to her. But thank you to everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for all the super chats as well too. You guys didn't have to do that. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I know people have been doing shows consistently and stuff like that. And, people kind of been like, AT2, where you at? How come you ain't, posting the hashtag? How come you ain't doing this and that and that and this? It's because, like I said, I don't want to get on here every day and tell you that he's a shitty person. Yes, I've signed the petitions, I share this, share that. But I'm not going to keep doing that because my platform still has to grow and my platform has to move on. If it's an interview, I love doing interviews and I feel like that's better than me just getting on here being all like, he's a shitty person, he's a shitty person, he's a shitty person. Me doing that consistently when 20 billion other people are doing it, I don't feel like that's conducive or anything. It's not productive. It's not productive at all, So by me doing an interview, letting people tell their story, I feel like that's more productive and we're getting something out of it, and somebody is able to share why this guy is a bad person, But also I was happy to shut down. And shout out to the person that told me that rumor was coming, that he plans on interviewing somebody from my family and then making up this crazy lie. Thank you for letting me know that ahead of time. But you guys, I'm still on the mend. I'm still getting better. I'm gonna try to give you guys one more live because we got to talk about the Janet Jackson documentary. We definitely got to talk about that. So I'm gonna try to give you one more live tonight, if not tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for just rocking with your boy AT2. Thank you for getting me to 8K. I think like 15 short of reaching 100 members. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Love you. Deuces. Have a great night. We out. And the intro never plays when I want it to play. I swear. All right, we out here, y'all.